in a better way. This is something also we like to share with you.
The Basic and Secondary Ministry official urged school authorities to improve sports in schools and the need to eliminate unnecessary levies on students to ease the financial burden on parents. The Program Officer Gambia Teachers Union, Pa Daniel Mendy, and the General Manager of Teachers Credit Union, Babukar Juf, both gave detailed lecture on vital issues surrounding the progress of the body.
Another gap is the absence of a school representative. The GTU governance structure begins from the school level. Where you do not have a school representative, it becomes very, very difficult for the staff of the school to receive regular updates on the programs and activities of the Gambia Teachers Union.
Teachers have to take 5 days out of every month to collect their salaries and go back to school. Then you can calculate how many hours of contact they are losing with the children. So the union intervened. We presented a proposal to government, and MOPSI and DNT were impressed. We have gone through a lot of things. The PS is out of town. In fact, he sent me an email recently to say we would have signed the MOU this week if he had been around. We have agreed a memorandum. We have been advised by legal minds. And once that is signed at the end of next week, we will be paying salaries for government to all the teachers who were getting it through the paymaster system.
Lalo N. Danso, Manager Career Development Training at the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, advised principals on the strategies and action necessary to ensure the facilitation and maintenance of a transparent, efficient and economic public procurement system that is geared towards the improvement of the social and economic capacity of the country. The convergence of principles is expected to draw valuable lessons for members in the course of their work in their various schools. For GRTS News, I am Fatou Jassi.
The communities of Brufut, Wulinkama and Ghana Town have started work on a large farm cultivated in response to President Jammeh's back to the land call. GRTS's Babukar Kamara picks up the rest of that story.
We are here today to come and join our people, Brufutu, Wulingama, Madiana, I would say Commonwealth as a whole. Back to the land. So obviously wherever such thing is, Commonwealth, we are in the middle.
Commonwealth, a rapidly evolving peri-urban area, is back on the president's call for Gambians to go back to the land and grow what they eat. The initiative, dubbed Inspiration in Action, seeks to establish the principle of practice what you preach, pioneered by President Jammeh.
If the president said that back to the land, we the staff working under him, should also at least show other people, that the call of the president back to the land, we should be the first people to set the example. Now, if you look at the small boy on the tractor, is my younger brother the same mother and father with me. He's going to school, but still now, he's working on the tractor. Yeah, so we want to, set good example that Keja and then Kanilai farm to show the whole country or the whole world that, even the presidents, staffs are ready to go back to the land, which, we are going to maintain.
The new farming strategy adopted by inhabitants of Brufut, Wulinkama and Ghana Town seeks to eradicate hunger and poverty while contributing to household food security.
Going back to the land, helps a lot of Gambians. And then in fact, every Gambian, not like saying that, the president is calling back to the land for people to go to Kanilai and then, work and then give it to him. So that we can eradicate, poverty and then hunger in this country. So I am appealing to all, the civil servants or, every Gambian to at least have 2-meter farm, that will reduce, the expenditure of, if you put potato, before going to the market to buy potato, you can harvest your potato, which does not cost you, money. So going back to the land is very, very important.
When they said back to the land, they are referring to us, and we are the one who should implement government's effort. This farming, obviously, we are going to take it with great care and attention, definitely.
The peri-urban mechanized farming scheme seeks to reduce transportation cost and other logistics burden on Kanilai family farms, whilst inspiring young people to significantly contribute to the country's grain basket. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
You can also follow that story and other Grts programs live on our website at www.grts.gm. There you can also monitor Grts Radio Live. We'll take our first break. Stay tuned.
It's traditional that your national GSM provider, Gamcell, takes many of its valuable customers to Mecca each year. This year again, Gamcell will offer 10 more of its valuable customers a complete Hajj package in a draw to be held live on GRTS television. Yes, your Hajj is possible by simply loading $50 scratch card or Nopal. You can win not only a return ticket to Mecca, but also $1,000 travel allowance, food and accommodation in Medina and Mecca. Remember, the more you load $50 scratch card or Nopal, the more you increase your winning chance. With Gamcell, your Hajj is now easier. Gamcell, yay baron.
Welcome back. The power tussle involving Egypt's new president, the Supreme Constitutional Court, and the military generals has deepened. The Supreme Constitutional Court has again suspended Egypt's Legislative Assembly. Days after President Morsi decreed its reopening, supporters of the Muslim Brotherhood have denounced the Supreme Constitutional Court for the new order. We have details in this report.
Egyptians just don't know whether they have a parliament or not, and the press reports are as confusing. Yesterday, President Morsi decided to convene the dissolved legislature. Then the Constitutional Court annulled President Morsi's decision. The court reiterated, Parliament is dissolved. The president's supporters reject what they call judicial meddling in politics. They should be patient and see what Mohamed Morsi actually does, but right now they're interfering in his work. They want to prevent him from doing anything.
If they want to dissolve the parliament elected by the people, then they should ask the people. Nobody is above the people, not the law, not the constitution, not the court, not the president.
The Islamist outcry began Tuesday night and is growing louder. Cairo's Tahrir Square, with slogans against the army and the Constitutional Court.
The decision by the High Court is political. The judges are not supposed to meddle in politics. They're not supposed to meddle in politics.
A few hours earlier, Islamist MPs from both the Salafists and the Muslim Brotherhood marched to Parliament again as President Morsi decreed. It was the first session since the assembly was dissolved nearly a month ago. The goal is to put the dissolution on the front pages. They are appealing the High Court's decision and hope the Court of Rules will decide in their favor. The status of the Parliament is unclear. What is clear is the power struggle between the army and the Islamists is only just beginning.
Peacekeeping forces in the DR Congo are preparing for a massive deployment of at least some 18,000 troops to the strategic town of Goma. Reports coming out of the east of the country say fighters of the rebel group M23 have surrounded the town and civilians are fleeing the area. And the foreign minister of Burkina Faso and his Ivory Coast counterpart have met with the interim president of Mali in Paris. Jonkunda Traoré, who is recuperating in a French hospital, have been attacked by a mob in Bamako. Is said to be responding to treatment. We have details in this report.
In the Democratic Republic of Congo, the city of Goma is under high surveillance. Congolese troops and UN peacekeepers are thought to be heading towards the North Kivu capital. They're worried the M23 rebels are about to carry out an attack, as some reports suggest they are gaining ground. They're thought to have received weapons and help from outside the DRC. In addition to the Congolese battalion, the UN mission in DRC, MONUSCO, is expected to deploy 18,000 men to protect Goma and its inhabitants. Mali's interim president is well. That's according to Burkina Faso's Foreign Affairs Minister Djibril Bassole and the Ivorian Minister of African Integration Ali Koulibaly. The two ECOWAS envoys on the Malian crisis met with Diakunda Traoré in Paris yesterday, where he has been treated since May 23rd after he was attacked and wounded by crowds of demonstrators in his office near Bamako. The two ministers say Diakunda Traoré is now in good health and determined to carry out his duties. The trial of Bouzid